Let's see here. I'm going to mute everybody too for a while. And when you have a question, you can just raise your hand. So welcome, everybody. I mentioned we'll pick up where we left off the last meeting about seed oils. I think I listed all the seed oils and I sent a link for all of you to review that. And we were talking about olive oil and avocado oil, even though they do have some linoleic acid, they probably are the best oils for us to eat. The other thing is the doctors talked about a ratio of omega-6 to 4. That right now in the American diet, it's probably like 25 to 30 to 1 because we're consuming too much in the way of linoleic acid. So all the seed oils have a very, very high concentration of linoleic acid. But our body still needs a little bit of linoleic acid. So they talk about the best ratio is about 4 to 1. So it is all right, for the olive oil, as long as you get the cold pressed olive oil. And the avocado oil is probably one of the best oils, along with coconut oil for cooking. But you're probably much better off cooking with butter or lard because they have no linoleic acid. And for those of you that are not familiar with linoleic acid and seed oils, some research has indicated that seed oils are responsible for macular degeneration. The other thing is that I'm looking at some of the old cardiology textbooks. Coronary artery disease, myocardial infarctions were unheard of in the early 1900s before the introduction of seed oils. So I think that cardiovascular disease and strokes are due to the seed oils. So it's kind of shocking that so many of our illnesses are due to the foods we consume, especially, the processed foods. And I like, the saying, if it has a label on it, don't eat it. All right, so let me open it up for questions or comments. Let's see here. Okay, Jean has her hand up. Let's see, Jean. You have to unmute.
Okay. You got me now?
I got you now. You can also send a question in the chat too.
Okay. What my question was is about the ozone. I watched your video but I can't, the CATS isn't available anymore. The CATS ozone generator is not available anymore. So I bought another one that looked like it might have been fairly comparable with that. But the only question I have, comes with 2 stones with it. Like one is round and one is shaped like a cylinder, and they're not very big. So which one should I use? I don't understand. There wasn't anything in the way of actual instructions with it. It was a lot of information with it, but nothing to show how to physically make it work.
So you're talking about an ozone generator to ozone saline for eye drop?
I bought some saline. Also, I got it from the pharmacy, so I hope it's right. It's 0.09%. Is that correct?
Yep. It's called normal saline.
Okay, yeah. So, but what they say on the bottle that it's a one purpose or one time use. But I gather from your video that when you're using it, you're actually purifying it again anyway, so it would give it more than one life.
Yeah.
Am I right with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Many patients, what they do is they'll ozonate the saline, put it in their small dropper bottle, And then at the end, they just dump the rest of the saline that's empty in
Back
the
in.
bottle back in and re-ozonate it, because ozone is a very powerful disinfectant. A lot of the
Right.
swimming pools now have ozone instead of chlorine.
Ozone, yeah. I was trying to figure out how I could put it into my hot tub, and I thought that might be a good thing too. But anyway, that's for another thought on that. But
Yeah.
I did want to know about which stone to use.
I don't think
Will
it
it make a difference?
matters. I don't think
It
it
won't.
matters what stone. You know,
Okay.
maybe some of you have had aquariums as a child, and usually there's like a little oxygen, a bubbler. So it
Right.
doesn't matter which stone you use as long as it's making bubbles.
As long as it's making bubbles. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll
So you put one of the stones in the saline. They probably gave you a couple because sometimes the stones get contaminated and damaged, and so you have an extra stone to use.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
And just
That's fine.
bubble it in the saline, and that should work out fine.
And it's about 15 minutes that I would leave it in there to.
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay. And
You
I
can
thought,
send me a picture, send Chris a picture
okay, I will.
of the machine. And if you
Of the
still have
machine.
questions, bring it up at the meeting.
Okay. Okay. So also it says on there that you can use it to wash your vegetables and things like that. So I would just put it into, like, put my vegetables in the sink, put water in it, and stick it in with that, and that would
Yep.
clean up my vegetables as well.
Because it'll
Yeah.
remove some of the toxins and sprays
Toxins,
that
yeah.
may be on the
Yeah, it says in
vegetables.
the information that it will actually increase the longevity of your stuff in the fridge. So that's a good thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take advantage of the ozone. But one thing, the ozone eye drops are very good for dry eyes. They're good for inflammation. They're also very good for patients that are taking glaucoma eye drops and are getting irritation.
Yeah. I don't have that, but they do get irritated. So I thought it would be good for me to use them for the eye drops.
But the ozone eye drops have little benefit for macular degeneration or
No, I
cataract.
understood that. Yeah.
I don't want
But
you
other
to
than make your eyes more comfortable from, I just find that the washcloths tend to make them irritable. Like the edges of my eyes, like the margins, get kind of itchy sometimes from that. So
I just had a light bulb go up. Maybe it might be a good idea to ozonate the water that you soak the washcloths in.
you know what? You must have been telepathy or something, because it just occurred to me at the same time.
Yeah, you know what? You and I, we're geniuses.
Yes, I guess so. Okay.
But no,
All
I'm
right.
thinking that may be perfect because a lot of people, are worried about the water that they're using.
Sure, because I live
ozonate
on
the
a lake, and
water.
I do my laundry with lake water, so it's probably not going through my UV. Yeah, so it could be.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
ozonate the water, then soak your washcloths in, or even keep the washcloths in the water while you're ozonating it.
while you're ozonating. Yeah,
In
sure.
fact, I could be changing the whole dynamics of the
You
program.
could. You could. Okay, that sounds great then. All right, thank
Yeah,
you. That was my only question today.
okay. Let's see, Bonnie has a question. You need to unmute. Oh, you have to click the unmute button. There.
Yeah. On the same topic, how would a stone get contaminated and how would you know that?
Oh, well, you know why? People usually use those stones for aquariums. And years ago, I had an aquarium and algae starts to develop on the stone and crud.
Oh, so you would
And
see it.
You can see it and it blocks the flow of the bubbles.
Okay, another question, same topic. I have the ozone generator and use it here at home, but often I'm out and about doing things, and it's here in Arizona, hot, dry, and currently spring winds. And so I also have these little bottles, like this is Cystane dry eye drops. are those okay to use?
Oh, yeah, those are okay. I kind of like Refresh much better.
Yeah, I've tried that too.
I like Refresh.
Mhm.
And I think Costco has a good deal. The best one is the little plastic tubes. It's one tube a day. They sell them.
Oh,
They call Adaptettes Refresh.
uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
Costco has a special. I think they have a great discount on that if you have a Costco account.
I do.
But
Okay.
remember, you can still take the ozone eye drops with you. They'll last a good part of the day.
Well, I think they were supposed to be over with after a couple of hours.
Oh, no. The ozone that decreases in half every 2 hours. So
Okay.
let's say you have 100 units of ozone in your bottle. You made it. In
Uh-huh.
2 hours, you'll have 50. In 4 hours, you'll have 25. You'll still have a little bit.
A little bit. Oh,
So it still may be beneficial for you to use those drops.
okay. That's good to know.
You know, so I know some patients that use the drops all day. They ozonate it. They're putting it in all day. Then they come back in the evening and they re-ozonate it.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like you have to ozonate the water or the saline every 2 hours.
Good. Good.
Sound
That.
good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Elaine, I think you had a question. Oh, you need to unmute.
Okay,
Yeah, good to see you, Elaine.
thank you. I'm glad to be here. I wanted to let you know the last doctor visit I had, my wet macular is still holding dry macular in both eyes, and my vision is holding. And I'm just so thankful for that.
Well,
The other,
we want your vision to get better. We don't want it to hold.
well, it's holding, and I'm thankful for that so far, and I keep praying for improvement, yes.
Mhm.
I did buy the Beaver 1 gallon distiller. And what I would like to know is, do you take your water from the faucet to use with that?
Yep, I take it from the faucet, and that distiller will purify and remove everything. In fact, I was shocked.
I'm trying to
Uh,
cut down on plastic.
Well, your distiller is in plastic, isn't it? It's metal.
No, I bought the one that you suggested. It's glass inside and
Yeah.
stainless steel outside. And
But you're
yeah.
going to be surprised after you distill a gallon of water, you look inside the machine and you'll see sludge and products that
Really, I have to expect that. Okay.
you have to expect that. Yeah, but
Thank
it's
you.
removing everything. The distilled water is distilled water. It's pure. All it is water.
So yeah, I've been drinking a lot of these 2 gallon bottles. I buy the Ice Mountain water, and I've been trying to find something else, and I've been so excited about using this.
Yeah, because you're eliminating the plastic, and you really wonder how distilled and purified that water is in the plastic bottles
Okay.
that you
Thank you
buy.
so much. Yes.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Let's see, Anthony, down below, Anthony.
Okay. Question for you. I'm on the belladonna for the blindness. But ever since I had COVID in 2021, it's left me with a cough that just doesn't stop. Not as bad as it was when I was laying in ICU, but it just doesn't stop. Since you are suggesting that you don't take another homeopathic in combination with the one you're already on, any suggestions since I can't take another homeopathic?
Well, we have to talk about that because there's something called intercurrent remedies.
Okay.
In fact, give myself, for example, I'm visiting friends in the Central Valley of California, and there's a lot of pollen in the air, a lot of pollution, and I developed a severe cough.
Okay.
So I took an intercurrent remedy.
Okay.
So you could take a small dose, an X potency of an intercurrent. I don't like patients to do that because then you do it overboard and you're constantly taking a homeopathic remedy for everything.
Right. So are you suggesting, based upon that comment, just leave it alone and do nothing, or?
I would say leave it alone because the belladonna, actually belladonna is a homeopathic remedy that covers a cough.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so it may be that the cough will resolve.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, and keep us posted.
I will.
Lois, hello, how are you? Oh, you have to unmute. Oh, you need to unmute, Lois. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that good? Okay. Yeah, I couldn't see the button. It kept disappearing. Yes, I have several questions. Number one, I'm still really having blurry vision, and I'm having more and more difficulty, like reading. I need to use a very high powered like LED light in order to read and everything. And I just happened, in fact, I sent you an email, but I'm sure you did this morning, but I'm sure you didn't get a chance to review it. I had just listened to a video by Dr. Glenn Jeffrey, who's done some of the red light therapy work. He's a PhD in neuroscience ophthalmology in England. And he mentioned that there are full spectrum LED lights that don't have the big blue spike and very diminished red, that they actually are more like a sunlight LED. So I'm just wondering, since reading is so difficult, do you think a full spectrum LED would be okay to use? And especially since I do have some blue blocking ability in my glasses.
Well, one thing I need to make clear, we need blue light during the day.
Yes.
It's not that blue light is toxic. We need it during the day. You have to avoid it at night.
Right.
So if you are using doing a lot of reading at night, then I would recommend you use that. But I think the full spectrum would be a good source of light.
Right. Okay. Because I don't have any LED lights in my home there, except in my magnifiers. I have all incandescent, even though they're getting harder and harder to find. The next question is, we had spoken, I think it was April 22nd, about the homeopathic. And then a day or two later, I finally got my hard copy photographs from the Cleveland Clinic, and I sent those emails along with a little bit of an update on my symptoms, on some of the things that you had asked me when we had our consult, because that's the other issue that I'm having is like memory loss and things. And sometimes when I get asked a question, it's like I have like a brain freeze. So anyway, I just wondered if you had a chance to review those things and if it made any difference.
Well, usually additional information doesn't change the remedy. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I take your homeopathic case, I'm looking for features that you present at that moment, along with looking at your records. But invariably, like if we would talk for 5 hours, you'd come up with new information.
Right.
Usually I'm looking for salient features that point to a certain homeopathic remedy, tying it in with your case. But we did put all that information in your chart.
Okay, good.
Use the remedy for about a month, and if you don't notice any changes, then we'll reconvene and do the case again.
Okay. Well, hopefully Chris got to order it then, and I should be getting it soon.
Yeah.
My next question is real quick on the Oclumed. I still have the bottle that I got. Because I don't use it all the time, and I think it was recommended 3 times a day, but I haven't done that. And I think they said there's like 400 drops or 400 doses. Sorry, my microcurrent just went off. In the bottle. So I opened that bottle last November. Is it still safe to use?
I'd really question that.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought.
A new one, because that medication can get contaminated.
Right. Okay. All right.
I think it's only good for 3 months.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I did call them, but they never called me back. I got a voicemail. So okay, fine.
There may be some small print on the bottle. They're required to put an expiration date.
Okay. Well, I think it does have an expiration date, but the expiration date is like the end of this year, or early next year. But I mean, the bottle's been open now for 6 months, so. So
did you refrigerate the bottle after you opened it?
No, not all the time. I
Yeah,
didn't.
so I would just order. You don't want to take the risk of getting an infection.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Then my next question is, this geographic atrophy that I have, have you had any patients? I have. It's weird. My good eye is my right eye, but that's the eye that has the worst the dry macular degeneration, along with geographic atrophy with subfoveal involvement. My left eye does not have GA, but I can't, my vision out of it is like 2300. Have you, in your experience, have patients that have done your program, have you seen an improvement in the geographic atrophy?
Oh, yeah. All forms of macular degeneration can get an improvement. Because
Okay.
what we're doing is we're waking up sick or dead cells. The geographic, you have like an area of scarring, but there's surrounding retinal cells. But I do believe that the body has the ability to regenerate.
Okay.
And why can't therefore be new retinal cells that form?
Yeah, because the hard thing is, everybody, all the literature says that, once you have it, it doesn't, because basically your retina is like an extension of your brain. You can't regenerate those cells and the rods and cones and all that. And I have to stop reading that because it's,
you have to stop reading that, because when I was in school, there's part of the cornea called the corneal endothelium.
right.
And we were taught that the endothelium does not regenerate. And if you were taking a national test and you got that question wrong, you didn't become an eye doctor. Now there's evidence coming out that the corneal endothelium does regenerate.
Okay, good. That's
So
what
is dogma a lot of times is disproven later on.
Okay.
And I really believe that the human body can regenerate.
Okay. All right. The next question I have is this is a little bit
Well,
scary.
you have too many questions. There's other people that have questions.
Okay,
You're taking
all
up
right.
the whole show.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
all right.
save some of your questions towards the end. I want to get some other
Okay,
people.
of course. All right. Thank you, doctor.
No, I appreciate your questions, but we got to take care of other
Of course.
here. Okay, Vivian. Hi. Have to unmute. Oh, I still can't hear you, Vivian. Uh-oh. Your microphone isn't working. You may have to send something in the chat. You have to click your little microphone button. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Your hand's up. Maybe type something in the chat, okay? Go to the chat and type the question. But Sandra had a question here about just ozonate regular water for the washcloths. Yeah, just regular tap water. I think that'll be fine. You know what? You don't want to use distilled water when you do the microcurrent. And the reason for that is distilled water doesn't have any solutes in it. And in order for the microcurrent to be conductive, you do need some minerals in the water. So if you do use distilled water, you may want to put a pinch of Himalayan sea salt in the water, because you do want to have that conduction. So I think regular tap water would be fine. No, Vivian, you're still on unmute. I'm sorry. Yeah, try to type a question. Okay, any other questions? There's no other questions. Okay, Jerry. Otherwise, we'd have to go back to Lois.
Hi, Dr.
Jerry.
Hi, Dr. Kondrot. I'm Jerry Caswell, and I'm calling you. I'm here for my wife who's traveling today. But we listened to your meeting 2 weeks ago, and I guess I got bad information. I was thinking that you had recommended using the Vivo Home water distiller, but I just heard you say some other name like Weaver or Beaver. I want to make sure I get the right one.
Oh, well, there's a lot of distillers on Amazon.
That's where this came from.
Yeah, and they're all pretty good. I mean, it's a really basic concept. You want to make sure it's not a plastic. Well, most of them aren't plastic.
No, the carafe is glass. In the tank, it says metal. I think it's
Yeah, and
stainless.
what name? Let me go on right now.
VIVOHOME.
I
Yeah.
think that would be fine. I'm going to look at it right now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, come on, it's taking me. I'm gonna look water distiller. And this is yeah,
It's like the number 306 or something like
yeah,
that.
the Vivo Home.
Yes.
The one I use is the I think they both work. But the one I use is the I think it's the H2O Labs.
Okay. I'll look at that.
That's the H2O Labs.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Sandra, you have a question?
Yes, I had written it in an email, but for the glaucoma drops, I take the one of the VXY, whatever. When do you do that in relation to the microcurrent? Because I know I'm supposed to do them both before bed.
Yeah, the Zalatan you're supposed to put in your eye at night.
Is that what
So,
the VXYUL?
yeah. I
Okay.
would probably do the microcurrent first and then put the Zalatan in.
Okay.
I
How
don't
far
think-
apart?
Oh, I would think maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
I feel uncomfortable if you put the drop in your eye and then do the microcurrent.
Well, you should let Chris know that because I ran that by Chris and she told me she thought the microcurrent would put the drop in stronger and I felt uncomfortable.
Oh, you know
myself.
what? We recommend, like with the Oclamed, you put the drop in the microcurrent. So usually speaking, it will make the eye drop stronger. But then again, Zalatan is a petrochemical, and I don't like, any type of petrochemical product. So generally speaking, those of you that are using Oclamed is the drop that help reverse cataracts. I do recommend you put the Oclamed in your eye and then do the microcurrent.
But not for this VYZULTA.
No, because that's something we want to get you off of. We want to get your eyes healthier so you don't need those.
Well, that was my other question is how do I know when that happens? I mean, I've just been on the microcurrent about a month. My eyes are still dry, a lot of blurriness. My pressure's been the same, 16 in both eyes.
Well, we want to continue, changing your diet, doing the microcurrent, the homeopathic remedy, and then hopefully in a couple of months, your eye doctor may say, well, your pressure is lower. And then we could maybe taper the drops, use the drops every other day. You never want to stop the glaucoma drops suddenly. And it really upsets me if somebody joins the program and they think that, oh, they can stop all their drops. No, you don't want to do that because you have a rebound. You want a, combination of using the alternative therapies, getting your body healthier, and then tapering the drops. And then also
Okay.
it's based on your studies too, your visual fields and your nerve fiber layers. So periodically I want to review those to see how you're doing.
Okay. Are there any negative side effects of the microcurrent? Because I have this red burning feeling here. Now, I have been falling asleep with it at night, so maybe that face
Well,
cloth leaves.
anytime you have burning, that's a sign that you're dehydrated.
Oh,
So you do want to make sure you're extremely hydrated. Every time you have a massage, the first thing a massage therapist does after the treatment gives you a glass of water. Drink this. So the microcurrent is stimulating some activity in your body, and you are eliminating toxins. And if you're dehydrated, you will get some burning and discomfort. So make sure you're properly hydrated when you do the microcurrent. Also,
so I've been doing,
the other issue is your washcloth. If your washcloth has been cleaned with a harsh laundry detergent, like Tide or whatever some of the other ones are, and you put it on there and it's not rinsed properly, those chemicals may go, be carried into your skin. So make sure you rinse your washcloths thoroughly. And Jean had a brilliant idea to bubble the ozone in a container with water and your washcloth.
yeah, that is a good idea.
That's a good idea. But if it continues to happen, then we may want to change some of the frequencies. But
Okay, yeah,
I do
it's just,
think we have to look at your washcloth, which you're using to clean the washcloth, your water. We have to address all those things first. Also, if you do have any eye makeup on, mascara, things like that, that could be causing a reaction.
so what time of day are you supposed to do the microcurrent? Right before bed?
I like to do the microcurrent right before you go to bed, simply because the eye regenerates at night when you sleep. So it makes sense to me to do the microcurrent and then go to bed. But I have patients to do it in the morning and in the afternoon. I just think you may get a little better effect at night.
I just tend to fall asleep with it. And I didn't know if that might be why I get dehydrated, because I'm not awake to drink the water and I'm left with the washcloth laying there.
Well, the microcurrent machine shuts off, so it's not
Right.
like it runs all night. I think just whenever you get up, have some water or drink a couple glasses before you do the microcurrent.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, and Mary Ann asked, do you add mineral supplements to distilled water? I think it might be a good idea. It's not necessary. I think if you have a good, healthy diet and you're eating organic foods, and you don't have to add anything to it. But just a small pinch of Himalayan sea salt might be helpful. I never add any Himalayan sea salts. I'm drinking, the distilled water all day. It's just I try to eat a good, healthy, organic diet, fresh fruits and vegetables, and I think that has the trace minerals. Oh, Mary Ann, did you want to say something?
Yes, I'm wondering about rinsing the cloths in vinegar water.
I would not do that. I mean, you could rinse it, but you don't want to do a treatment with the vinegar on the vinegar. The acidity of the vinegar is going to affect the connections.
Oh, I understood that vinegar helped to get rid of any soap residue, and that so.
That I don't know.
Oh, okay. And do you recommend any kind of detox baths?
Not really. I mean, I like infrared sauna,
Mm-hmm.
Steam room, all those things. Sweating, will help with the detox.
Okay, thank you.
I know a lot of naturopathic doctors talk about a detox bath where you put a I think a cup of vinegar, a cup of Epsom salts, and something else in the water and sit in that. There's different formulas for a detox bath. I think
Bicarbonate of soda.
that's it. The three: bicarb soda, Epsom salts, and vinegar.
And
Those three.
sometimes bentonite clay. I do that. And
Uh-huh.
I feel great over it. It's
Now
helpful.
you're back. What happened?
Yeah, I finally figured out how to unmute.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
thanks for your comment, because I forgot about the bicarb. In fact,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard Dr. O talk at the vision event.
Yeah.
She's really a big advocate of those baths.
Yeah.
So Vivian, did you have a question?
I do. I wonder about the nostril.
Oh, wait a minute, Vivian. I'm
I-
gonna mute everybody. I'm muting everybody and you turn back on. Somebody has background noise. Okay, unmute. Uh-oh, we may have a problem. Sorry. There's just a lot of background noise. Okay, as soon as you unmute, I'll take you, but I'm gonna, Julia has a question.
Hi, doctor. Hi, everyone. Real quickly, just wanted to remind everyone that fabric softener is chemical also.
Good point.
Yeah, detergents and fabric softener. I just wanted to share an experience that I had yesterday when I went to the retina specialist here locally. And Doc, you and I can talk about this further when we have our one-on-one soon. This is the second visit that I've had with the retina specialist locally. And the first time I went in, he, all the tests and diagnosed me with wet macular degeneration. And I heard him say, she's covered by insurance for everything. We're going to give her an injection today. And of course, I was not in agreement with that. And I shared that with him. And I said, no shots today. I need to consider it and I need to get a second opinion. And he accepted that. And of course, that sent me on the trail to find you. And I'm so thankful that I did. Now, I had a second appointment with him to check my progress since starting your protocol. And there was a slight change in the eye that has the fluid under the retina. But all of a sudden, he has decided that my diagnosis could be CSR. And instead of wet macular degeneration, because my vision is very stable. I'm still 20/20. And anyway, when I was leaving, I thought if I had simply accepted his original diagnosis and started the injections, there would have been no thought or consideration that it might be CSR, which is not treated with injections and just needs to be watched. And I
And
was
it could be,
so
if you got that first injection, you'd be getting an injection every month.
for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I left there so thankful that I listened to my instincts and then, got on the path to find you. And of course, you supported what my instincts said. And, I told him yesterday, I said, look, if you and Dr. Kondrot said to me, you're going to lose your vision unless you do shots. I said, at that point, I would do shots. Okay. But not until that point. And I didn't discuss it with him further. I mean, the world that he's in, he feels like he's doing what's best for the patient, right? But I thought I would have already received 6 injections. I'm in my upper 60s. I would have had years and years of shots every month. And it could be that my diagnosis and that remedy don't line up at all. So I just wanted to share that. That was my experience, and I'm really, really thankful
Good. Well,
that I
thank you.
taught.
Thank you.
Mm.
Let's see, Linda Baldwin. Let's see, you have to unmute, Linda.
There, now you can hear me, can't you?
Yep. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm really good. I have an experience with the color therapy. I think is making a remarkable difference with the shades. And I alternate it like the instructions say every day. I notice a sharpness to it that perhaps
Good.
is that designed to do that?
Yeah,
with the colors?
don't underestimate the color therapy. I have so many patients that just don't do the color therapy because they think it's too simple and silly.
No, but here's one interesting thing. With all the green colored ones, they stay in place. With the red one, it moves. I mean, it doesn't move, but it appears to move. I thought that's interesting.
Mhm.
Why
In
does
fact,
that?
this month I'm going to a meeting, the College of Syntonics. It's a group of a couple hundred eye doctors who do light therapy for all sorts of eye problems. It's remarkable. And they've been doing syntonic light therapy for over 100 years.
Really? Well,
Over 100 years. In fact, even in the medical ophthalmology literature, those of you that have glaucoma, let's say you would go to your glaucoma specialist and say, "Doctor, do you think light therapy could help my glaucoma?" He's going to probably laugh at you and say, "Absolutely not." But in 1948, in the American Journal of Ophthalmology, which is our peer-reviewed journal, there was 2 articles published showing the benefits of light therapy in treating glaucoma.
I can notice a difference with the right eye, which has it more than the left eye, that there's a difference, and it's just remarkable what it does. But could you answer why the red moves around and the green doesn't when I'm looking at the bulb?
No, I can't explain that.
Maybe
Everybody has different phenomena.
I must have been hallucinating. The others don't do it. One last short question pertaining to radiation and cancer. My brother is going through radiation very shortly. Can he combine that with some homeopathic treatments?
Yeah, well, there are doctors who are using homeopathy to treat cancer.
Not his.
Well, there's a group called the American Institute of Homeopathy. You can Google it. American Institute of Homeopathy, and they're medical doctors that practice homeopathy all across the country.
I know.
And there are a bunch of really good guys. In fact, the American Institute of Homeopathy was founded years ahead of the AMA. The AMA was founded just to fight the homeopaths because the homeopaths were very strong. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's the oldest medical organization in the US, the American Institute of Homeopathy.
Well, thank you for that. Maybe that'll convince him to help him get from getting so tired and worn out from the
What many of the homeopathic doctors do, they don't tell you to stop the chemotherapy. It's a combination.
Oh, really?
I studied with Dr. Ramakrishna. He wrote a book called Homeopathy and Cancer. And what he does is he tells patients, well, if it's really bad, have the surgery, have the chemotherapy, and then we begin the homeopathic treatment. That's his approach.
Really? That gives me encouragement that I can encourage him with that. Thank you.
You have to wonder, why did the cancer develop? It's an imbalance in your body. Same thing as like, why did macular degeneration develop or glaucoma? It's an imbalance in your body. But if it's really life-threatening, with cancer that's spread all over your body, you don't want to deal with homeopathy that may take different remedies or months.
No.
So the goal would be to, a combination of both treatments. And my approach is the same way. I mean, some ophthalmic treatments and surgeries and medications are necessary.
Okay.
If you have an angle closure attack of glaucoma and your pressure's 50, I would say, let's start a homeopathic remedy, but you may need laser surgery.
Hmm.
And
Thank
do
you.
both. Do both.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think. Miss
I
Betty
think I'm
Parker-
unmuted again.
Oh, let's
Um,
do Vivian, because we've been struggling with you.
Yeah, what about Lanaro? Is that
I didn't hear you. Vivian, you have a bad connection. I lost you completely. Okay, let's go, Miss Betty Parker.
Hey, Dr. Kondrot.
How are you doing?
I hope I haven't been a bad patient, but about 7 weeks ago, my glaucoma doc said, I asked him if I could stop the dorzolamide at some point, and he said, well, about 2 weeks before you come see me, stop it, and then we'll see. Well, I was going to see the cataract, a cornea doc first. And so I'd stopped it, and 2 weeks later saw the cornea doc, and my pressure was about 20. It was 20, and I told him what I was doing, and I was going to go see the glaucoma doc in 4 weeks. And and after that period, my eyes started feeling a little strange. I didn't know really what it was, and then 4 weeks later, I saw the glaucoma doc, and I think the pressure was still 19 or 20. And he didn't really say anything. I told him what I was doing, and my eyes, I went back on the drop after that 6 week period, actually the day after my glaucoma doc appointment. Because my vision was starting to decline in my bad eye. I guess the point of all of this is I hope I haven't damaged my vision.
Well, let me ask you this. What does your pressure normally run?
It's it can run typically in the last year, it's run anywhere from 16 to 24-ish.
Mm-hmm. So if the normal range is 16 to 24-ish and you stop the drops and your pressure only goes up to 20, you may not need the drops.
Well, but then the eye started feeling just very strange. And again, my vision, I was like reading a line less on the chart. And I didn't like sacrificing the little vision that I have in the right eye. And so
yeah, it's unlikely that the vision changed just by stopping the drops.
Okay.
Unlikely. Something else may be going on. But the dorzolamide is a very toxic drop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's necessary to keep the pressure down. Some people need it.
Yeah. But
if it's not really impacting your eyes with the pressure, you may not need it.
Maybe a lesser toxic drop.
Yeah, talk to your glaucoma specialist, or if he feels that you need it, maybe take it every other day.
Okay. My concern was in that experiment, did I harm my vision?
No, I don't think so. But send me a copy of your most recent record so I can take a look.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Vivian, are you back?
I'm back. I want to know about lanosterol.
Lanoxerol. Is that the medication that's supposed to reverse cataracts? Vivian, we lost you again. Vivian, you have to maybe type your question in the chat. Sorry about that.
Okay, I just wondered if lanosterol is available for people with cataracts.
Oh, that's a good question. The studies with lanoxerol were done in vitro. In other words, they took out an animal cataract and they soaked it in lanoxerol and it reversed the cataract. So the drops are not going to be effective. The only way that it may work is if you get an injection in your eye.
Oh,
So the studies, they were very excited that it reversed cataracts, but there were studies where they took the cataract out of an animal and soaked it in the lanoxerol. So
okay.
it's not even a remote possibility to use it
No.
on the eye at this point.
No. And I have a question about ozone, or I'm puzzled because before I used ozone to clean my CPAP machine and recently was told not to because it could be toxic if the ozone didn't evaporate, you know, if you breathe it. So how is the ozone drop good, but the ozone otherwise is toxic?
Well, ozone gas is toxic to the lung. It is
Okay,
toxic, and you should never breathe in ozone. Now, if you have an ozone bubbler, it's okay to breathe a small amount in the air. You ever notice after a rainstorm with a lot of lightning, the air has a certain odor to it? That's ozone that you're smelling. Especially those of
okay,
you that live in Arizona during the monsoons and the lightning, you're smelling ozone. But ozone is toxic to the lung. The reason for that, the ozone just reacts to the tiny cells, the alveoli in the lung. So he's correct. It is
okay,
dangerous to breathe it. I mean, a small amount's not going to cause a problem, but if you breathe a lot of it, it could cause asthma and other problems.
okay. Also, I talked to Chris a couple times about asking if there was a light therapy that might help my cataracts.
Yeah, we do have light therapy.
Could I get started with that for my cataracts?
Yeah. You're not using any light therapy at all?
No, I never got in on the light therapy process, but
Okay, because that
I'd
is
love to try it.
part of the program, and we do have
Yeah.
some light therapy that can help. So contact Chris, and I'll review your chart and make a recommendation for the right light therapy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Jennifer.
Hi, I don't know where I got the idea, but I've actually been using distilled water for my washcloths when I do the microcurrent. Maybe I decided that was a good idea because I did not yet have a water filter. I've been drinking Mountain Valley water out of glass bottles, but does that mean I'm not likely to have experienced any
Oh
result?
no, you're still getting a treatment.
Uh-huh.
Because when you turn the microcurrent machine on, you're doing a treatment. If those red lights come on, that means you don't have a circuit.
Oh, no, I've had a circuit.
Yeah. So if you have a circuit, you're getting a treatment. I just think that you do want to have some good conduction. You want to get the full effect.
Right.
So distilled water, current doesn't flow readily through distilled water. It
I
still
see.
flows through distilled water, it just has a greater resistance. So you need some minerals.
I see. So I didn't want to use tap water, but would the Mountain Valley spring water?
Oh yeah, that would probably be
Be good?
exceptional because the
Okay.
spring water has a lot of minerals in it.
Okay, all right, I'll switch to that then.
Okay.
I think I forgot what my other question was. I'll raise my hand again if I think of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Somebody sent me a question about their most recent eye exam. The record showed mild cataracts, and should they get the program changed? Well, here's the thing. Everybody after the age of 50 has mild cataracts. They're very common. Just because you have mild cataracts doesn't mean they need to be treated. Although some eye surgeons will say you have mild cataracts, we better remove them. I have mild cataracts. I'm not taking Oclamed. I'm just, watching my diet and trying to keep myself healthy. So I don't think mild cataracts need to be treated. I think you just need to do all the things that we talk about. Avoid seed oils, drink plenty of water, eat healthy, reduce stress. If the cataracts would grow and begin obstructing your vision or limiting you, then they would need to be treated. Because many times I'll see people, they have glaucoma, they have macular degeneration, they have cataracts, they have dry eyes. Everything's going on with them. We could develop a program, microcurrent program, that treat everything, but typically what I look at, what is the main problem that's reducing your vision? So it's the macular degeneration, that all the energy and frequency is going to go in to treat that. Okay, let's see, one more question. We're coming to the top of the hour. Let's see. Sudden cough. You need to unmute. Okay, you're unmuted. Good. Oh, you need to unmute. Okay, you're unmuted. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the process of hooking up the wires to the gloves, and I was wondering if there was a specific order of the colors from left to right. I've got yellow from left to right, yellow, red, blue, and green. Would that be the correct order?
Well, in the back of the microcurrent machine, you have, let me pull mine out.
Yes, there's a red and a blue plug.
Right. So
and I've got those hooked up. So
yeah,
I'm talking.
The blue goes in the blue.
Yes,
the
I've got.
Goes in the red, and then follow the blue glove all the way to the end.
Okay.
And then both of those will snap into the glove.
Okay. It doesn't matter whether it's left or right.
No.
Okay, and
that's a good question, because the microcurrent it alternates. So 2 seconds, it'll go from the blue to the red, and then it changes red to the blue. It goes back and forth.
Okay, and so is the current being emitted the same for both gloves, or my question is, should I have one over the eyes and the other over the back of the neck?
Yes.
And it doesn't matter whether it's left or right?
It doesn't matter whether it's red or blue, because it goes from the eyes to the neck and then neck to the eyes. It alternates.
Okay. I had one other
good question.
Okay, I had one other quick question. It just occurred to me when you were talking about the seeds and the oil from seeds. I've been on a diet of eating a lot of trail mix for breakfast with peanuts, sunflower seeds, and flax seeds. And I'm wondering if maybe the oils from that has contributed to my condition, and if maybe I should just cut that all together and eat like raisins and cranberries.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, the seeds probably don't have as much oil, as the, once they process the seed. The other thing is, it's the way they process the oil. Certain chemicals are introduced and biochemical changes take place in the oils. So I think eating the seeds is not as toxic as the seed oil.
Okay.
But then again, we don't know. I think that the bottom line is the linoleic acid is toxic to the body. So you want to reduce the linoleic acid consumption. And certainly if you have, macular degeneration or some severe eye problem, you want to take every steps to try to treat the underlying cause. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody. Hope you have a good week. And any other questions, shoot us an email. Oh, one last comment here. What's the feeling on using tallow for cooking? Well, tallow is lard, isn't it? So lard and butter are probably the two best things to use for cooking. The second would be avocado oil or coconut oil. You should not be using olive oil for deep frying. I think with low heat, olive oil is fine, but for heavy heat, lard and butter are the best, then looking at the avocado oil. Okay, well, listen, thanks everybody. Have a good week, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.